Well, my next guest argues that President Obama could put the Benghazi debate to rest once and for all by doing one long overdue thing, he says, releasing the Benghazi intelligence briefings. Mark Thiessen makes that argument in his new Washington Post column, which is getting a lot of attention, saying the president's daily brief would reveal exactly what President Obama was told and when. So why hasn't he done it? Mark's a fellow at the American Enterprise Institute and a former speechwriter for President George W. Bush. Mark, the Democrats are saying that everything we need to know has been told. Jay Carney came out and said the administration has been forthcoming. And yet you argue there is one thing they have not produced that your former boss, George W. Bush, did produce, and that there's precedent for releasing this to the public. Tell us.
Absolutely. Look, President Obama says that he was only repeating what the intelligence community told him when he said that there was an Internet-inspired protest that went awry and led to the Benghazi attack. If that is true, it's a very simple way to prove it. Release his presidential daily intelligence briefing that he got in the days after the attacks, which will show exactly what the intelligence community told him. We'll learn whether they said there was an Internet-inspired video. We'll learn what they told him, what level of confidence they put in it. All of that is in those briefings. And look, there's a precedent for it. In 2004, at the request of the 9/11 Commission, President George W. Bush released his presidential daily intelligence brief, which said bin Laden preparing to attack the United States, because people had said that we had been warned about 9/11. And that document showed that there was just vague intelligence and no actionable intelligence that could have been used to stop the attack. He was vindicated. So if Obama is right, if he really was being told by the intelligence community that this was an Internet-inspired video, all he has to do is prove it, put out the intelligence brief, and he'll be vindicated, and the whole Benghazi scandal will go away.
Most of us have never seen a presidential daily brief. You say it assesses the level of confidence they would be giving him. You know, let's say in the White House's version, okay, Mr. President, this was a spontaneous protest that was inspired by an anti-Muslim video. They would have a level of confidence attached to that. What else would they have in that memo?
Well, what they do, the intelligence community, when it makes a judgment for the president, it does two things. First, as you say, it adds a level of confidence, low, medium, or high, that's attached to that judgment. And then also, they include dissenting views. So, for example, we know that the station chief, the CIA station chief on the ground, dissented from the judgment that there was a protest. We know from General Lovell.
And we just heard Catherine Herridge report that there's a 7-page document, including Ben Rhodes, the guy who sent out, remember, this is all about a video. It's all about a video, not a failure of policy. He too was there. I mean, so if he knew, how did President Obama not know?
Oh, he knew. So what happens is, one, the dissenting views would have been included in his intelligence briefings. He would have been told that the CIA station chief dissented from that judgment. And two, if over a course of a few days, from the day of the attack to when Susan Rice went out, there would be a differing level, probably, of confidence as the dissents came in. As the intelligence started to question the initial judgment, you might have started with a medium level of judgment, and then it would have dropped down to low. So were they still going out and saying to Americans it was an Internet video when the judgment that it was, if there was such a judgment ever, was going down, and dissents were being reported to the White House? So this is how we can know. It is a knowable fact what the President of the United States was told. So is he willing to come forward and tell us what the intelligence community told him, just like George W. Bush did?
They've been saying all along there's no there there. This is nothing. This is all invented by Republicans. They've said it again today. And yet this document would answer those questions definitively, one way or another. As we have, Catherine reporting about this document that shows they knew it was terror. We've heard that before, but now it's in print. They knew it was terror within a day. At the same time, Ben Rhodes knew it was terror, according to the document. At the same time, Ben Rhodes, days later, is preparing Susan Rice to go on the talk shows and telling her to tell everybody it's all about an Internet video. We need something more. The administration claims it's told us everything. Clearly, it has not. Mark, I'll give you the last word.
Just simply that, why is this important? Because we know since Benghazi that the President of the United States lied to us about Obamacare, his top legislative priority. In the context of that, Fox poll, 61% of Americans say that the President lies most of the time or some of the time on important matters. In that context, it is absolutely reasonable for Americans to want to know, did the President lie about Benghazi too? These documents can prove it. If he's got nothing to hide, he's got nothing to fear. Let him go.
Mark, thank you.
Thanks, Megan.
Well, we